Hi guys, welcome here once again. It's your sports reverend Samuel Morris. Today I'll be talking about how to create content. I mean sports content. You guys know I love sports, and so it wouldn't be any other content aside sports. But how do you create good content? Good sports content? Well, number one thing is planning. You have to plan. If you fail to plan, then you plan to fail. You have to be ready to prepare yourself if you must make the very best content. And so there are two things I'll be looking at. One of them is knowledge. You need the knowledge if you must create good content. Now, knowledge is at various levels. First, you have to understand the sports that you're covering. Is it basketball or football or volleyball? Whatever sport it is, you need to understand the terminologies in that sport. You need to understand the terms. You need to understand different aspects of that particular sport. And so your preparation should take that into cognizance. Aside that, you need to also know the stakeholders that are involved in that particular sport event. So, for instance, let's say you're covering a particular event or it's a tournament, then you have to know the stakeholders. The stakeholders could be the athletes or the players, the coaches of the clubs or teams involved, and then the tournament itself, knowing how that tournament has been, the history of the tournament, the best teams in the tournament, the best players of the tournament, and then also knowing the statistics of the players involved in the tournament, their successes, their stories, and also that of the coaches involved in the tournament. These will set you apart from your colleagues. So let's say you're a sports reporter and you arrive at a competition or a particular sport event. Your ability to be able to interview the stakeholders, whether player or athlete, coach, or organizers of the tournament or competition, will be inferably dependent on the pre-knowledge that you have about the event, the tournament itself. Another thing you need to take into cognizance, you need to actually prepare for is your logistics. For you to be comfortable and relaxed at covering any tournament or event, you need to plan for your feeding, for your accommodation, and for your transportation. But knowing fully well that you need to eat, you have to plan for your feeding. What's your budget like? You need to sit down and look at the meals you love to have. So before traveling or before leaving for the tournament, you need to consider the restaurants or the cafes that have the kind of meals that you would love to have and the amount or the cost of getting those meals. So what do? You sit down and write the cost and compare across different restaurants. The internet is available, so you go search and then see the possibilities, or maybe call local and find out what is obtainable so that you are aware and you can be quite comfortable when you arrive. Another thing is your accommodation, where you stay. I understand that several journalists, reporters especially, have sacrificed their comfort to ensure that they cover a tournament or an event, sport event, very well, even when they were probably sleeping on the bridges or sleeping in very terrible conditions. But then, if you plan, you can actually have something better. So why not plan? What stops you from planning? The third thing is transportation. Transportation is very, very important. In fact, it is like the life wire for every successful reporter. And so you would need to go from one venue to the other. If you're leaving a stadium to a stadium in another city, you need to pay your way there. It's not going to be a free ride. So why not plan for these things? Have a budget that includes all of these and fits all of these things in the picture. So when getting ready for your next tournament, do well to understand the niche that you're involved in. And also be sure to have sufficient knowledge about the competition, the stakeholders involved, and plan for your logistics. By so doing, you would be much more at an advantage at getting the very best content at or from that particular event. My name is Samuel Morris, and I am concerned about you creating the best sports content. In subsequent editions, I'll get to talk about other factors that will help you to create the best sports content. Do well to subscribe to this channel and click on that notification button so that you can get updates as they come. Have a lovely day.